Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
My name is Officer Porter. For those that don't know me, I know a good bit of you all in here, but for the ones that don't know me, my name is Officer Porter. A little bit about myself. I'm 43 years old. Been with the police department a few years. I also work in ministry in my church, or the dance ministry. That's just a little bit about me. But today we're going to deal with how to interact with the police. What to do if you get stopped. But just to start, by a show of hands, how many of you actually drive in here? Okay. Now this is the good question. Put your hands down. How many driving legally? Okay, so this will be beneficial for those that are not driving and those that will be getting ready to drive. Okay? So I'm going to start this off with a video, just to give a little icebreaker, to give a little idea of where I'm headed, okay? So we're going to start with this video. And this is about a lot of the excuses that people give police officers. Y'all, we hear some excuses. I'm talking about a lot of excuses, so don't try to come up with no new ones after you see this video.
Sticks.
When you deal with the police, the manners your mother taught you are the ones you should go by.
Can you just leave me alone?
I didn't know how fast I was going.
Why did you stop me for only one headlight when clearly vehicles have two headlights?
You don't have any taillights on your car.
I don't have any taillights.
No, ma'am, you don't have any taillights.
So if I didn't know I didn't have taillights and I wasn't speeding, I didn't think you were coming behind me.
When you deal with law enforcement, they do have the ability to change the course of your life based on the interaction.
I'm a grown woman. Now, you're not talking to a child.
You gotta stop.
She just didn't get what he was saying.
Stop.
Just stop.
Be quiet. Stop talking. It's gonna end.
Zip it. Zip it.
I'm late.
My mom's pregnant, having her 5th kid at the hospital. I'm trying to get there.
I have to go to the bathroom really bad. That's why I was doing 90 and a 40.
The funeral was a new one, but usually it's always the bathroom where I don't feel good.
You riding with your bright lights on, man?
I don't know how to turn them off.
Calm down.
I don't know how to turn them off.
Okay.
I would turn them off. I don't know how to use that button. I don't know how to turn them off.
If you don't like something that an officer or a deputy's doing, you won't win that battle on the side of the road.
You're gonna go to jail for cocaine tonight?
Nah, man, they ain't
No. You got cocaine all over your nose.
Donuts.
Donuts?
I don't want to hear donut jokes.
What is in that car that is illegal?
There should be nothing in that car that is illegal.
If I start suspecting drugs, I will, I'll try to separate the people and then talk to them and see if their stories match. Anything in there that's illegal? Okay, I'm gonna search the car.
The best answer is whenever you hear, not that I know of, this isn't my car, there shouldn't be, those type of answers like that, there's something in the car.
Oh, looks like crystal to me, buddy. Yep.
It doesn't help to lie to the cops, because in almost all those cases, they're gonna figure it out, or they're gonna find out, or they're gonna find it.
Save us some time. If you got something in the car, tell us.
I pay your salary. Don't you have anything else better to be doing? I can do your job better than you.
No offense, but I do know martial arts.
Police officers are human. They don't want to be lied to.
Anybody want to talk? Anybody want to talk? Nobody wants to say anything? Cool. You never know what type of call that you're going to. You can go from 0 to 100 really fast.
We're about to pull his vehicle. We've made several improper lane changes. Looks like they're about to pull over and he takes off on us. Let me see your hands! Turn it off!
On the ground.
When you're pulled over and the officer says, I smell weed, and then you get indignant.
What's that green stuff in there? Marijuana, dumbass. Well, that's not very nice, Michael. What, calling you a dumbass?
You can smell the weed just flowing out of a car, and you're like, all right, man, where's the weed? I don't have any weed, and it's just like, come on, man.
I think people who watch the show walk away with a better sense of what police officers do every day.
Holy mackerel.
The vast majority of police officers in this country are doing really hard and good work that should be recognized and appreciated.
Getting to see the same officers week after week, and they kind of start to understand these guys and how they interact week to week with people in different situations.
Yeah, I got you, man.
It humanizes police officers. The men and women that do this job are just regular people that happen to wear a uniform and carry a gun and get paid twice a month being police officers.
Got a black male running through the rear yard.
Whether the camera is there or not, we act exactly the same.
One, you have to have courage. Two, you have to have a commitment to help people and risk your life to do it if necessary. And 3, you have to have the perseverance because it's not just an 8-hour shift when you're a cop.
Down to the ground.
As you can see, police officers, we deal with a lot, just like teachers and educators. These are not easy jobs when you deal with people. So that's why we have these right here, programs like this that helps you to learn how to interact. I know one of the things that you guys heard is police don't like to be lied to. Just tell the truth and you will see that it's not going to go a whole lot more easier. Okay? When an officer approaches us, what to expect? 2 reasons an officer can stop you. The first one is reasonable suspicion. Who knows what reasonable suspicion even sounds like, or think what it might be? Keyword, suspicious. All right, reasonable suspicion is a legal standard by which a police officer has the right to briefly detain a person for investigatory purposes and frisk outside of their clothing for weapon. During the frisk, if the officer feels, sees, or smells something immediately recognized as illegal items, he or she can take it. The officer does not have to see you violate a specific law to stop you. And that's the biggest thing. Why are you stopping me? You can't just stop me. All we need is suspicions. If your actions are suspicious based on something you did where you were at during a certain time of day or other circumstances which create a concern for a reasonable person, you can be stopped and detained. Stop watching social media that's saying police can't just stop you. Stop saying they can't ask you certain questions. Don't go by social media. The second one is probable cause. Probable cause is the level of a reasonable belief based on facts that can be articulated that is required to sue a person in civil court or to arrest and prosecute a person in criminal court. This is when the officer determines that more likely than not, you committed a traffic or criminal crime. Any questions? Can you ask an officer why they stopped you? Yes, you can. But key is how. Don't when the police officer, what the heck you stop me for? You can't just be stopping me. Attitude. Attitude is everything. There's a proper way to ask. Sir, ma'am, can you please tell me why I was stopped? In a complete tone, in a respectful tone. An officer will introduce themselves. Good morning, good afternoon. My name is Officer Porter. I work with the Valdosta Police Department. I am stopping you for such and such and such and such and such and such. Fill in the blanks. When you're walking around on foot, biggest thing, never run from the police, especially if you don't have anything to hide. Don't run, and don't try to say I was DWB or walking while black, and they only stopping me because I'm black. Please don't do that. If you don't have anything to hide, just go ahead and stop, answer the questions. You be respectful to us, we would definitely be respectful. Don't become rude and offensive. That's the first thing. And please don't curse, because I promise you, we won't curse at you. Don't curse at us. I get cursed out a lot, and I've not cursed not one person. It's all about respect. You give respect, you receive respect, and respect goes on both ends. You respect us, and we're going to definitely respect you. During the traffic stop, what the officer will do. And also, if you get to a point where you feel like you're not being treated with respect, we do have protocol. Even if you want to call chief of police, raise your hand, chief, so they know who you are. For the ones that don't know who that is, that's a chief of police. It's protocol that you can go and you can file a complaint. Just because we have a badge and a gun does not make us above the law. We still have to give respect. Just like you guys have to respect us, we do have to respect you. May I see your driver's license, insurance, and registration, please? They got videos going on saying you cannot ask for my driver's license. Driving in the state of Georgia is a privilege. If you're stopped, you have to show your driver's license. Georgia Code 40-5-20, license required, surrender or prior license. No person except those expressly exempted in this chapter shall drive any motor vehicle upon a highway in this state unless such person has a valid driver's license. Keyword, valid. Valid driver's license under this chapter for the type or class of vehicle being driven. Justification for the stop. The reason I stopped you. We would never stop you and not tell you why we stopped you. We will always say why we stopped you. The officer may ask you for an explanation. Is there any justifiable reason for whatever you just did? Like sometimes people really do have good excuses. I had a woman in labor, the car was zooming, got behind it, it was like, I'm so sorry, ma'am. The woman was actually on the passenger side in labor, so I had to give them an escort to the police. So there are sometimes justifiable reasons to do what you do. So there's no such thing as there isn't a good excuse, sometimes. So sometimes there are good excuses. So we will ask, we won't just assume. And even if you're given a citation or a ticket, just because you signed a ticket does not mean you're admitting to guilt. You do get to go to court and you get to explain whatever, however, to a judge. If you have an explanation, what do? You can tell the officer, and that officer may accept it, they'll accept it or they'll give you a warning. They talk about me a lot. I'm not in this job to give tickets. I'm not in this job to take everybody to jail. I treat everybody the way I want to be treated. So I don't always give citations. I give a lot of warnings. Sometimes it happens. I had a lady, she literally blatant just ran a stop sign, but she was working on paperwork, trying to do all this at the same time. And she was like, I'm sorry, I just was not paying attention. So sometimes happen. If you talk to the officer respectfully and hear them, that officer is going to determine how that stop is going to go. Your attitude will determine how that stop will go. If you are wrong, what do? Just tell the truth. Admit it and apologize. And that's most of the time the people that are really being honest, they apologize. Officer, I'm so sorry, I just was not paying attention. I did not pay attention to the speedometer. I didn't know how fast I was going. They really do. Just tell the truth. And that's when the officer decides what action that they will take. When we go on stops, it's not a law that says we have to give you a citation. It's officer's discretion. So you and your attitude dictate whether you get a ticket or whether you don't get a ticket. Why do officers walk up to your car the way they do? Remember, the officer does not know who they are stopping. People, and let me explain that to y'all. People always say, they only stop me because of this, they only stop me because of that. When I'm behind the vehicle, most of the time, 90% of the time, I do not know if I'm stopping a black person, a white person, an Asian person, a Hispanic person. I'm stopping because you've committed a violation. I don't know what color. We don't know who we're stopping. I don't know if I'm stopping a juvenile. I don't know if I'm stopping an adult. We don't know who we're stopping. So that's why we approach the vehicle the way that we do. What to do when stopped by a police officer? Pull over to the right side of the road or to a parking space. Don't stop in the middle of the road in the intersection, in the turning lane. Just go ahead and pull over. If you are afraid to stop in the area that you are currently at because it's dark or the lighting, slow down, turn on your emergency blinkers, and call 911. We've had some people do that. You can call 911 and let them know that you're being pulled over and if you're concerned. When you're stopped, put your car in park and keep your hands on the steering wheel. Right there on 10 and 2. That has nothing to do with thinking that you're going to do anything. That's for your safety and our safety. If it's nighttime, turn on your lights inside your vehicle so the officer can see who you are. If you have a weapon in the vehicle, which none of you should, because none of you are of age to have a weapon, But if you do know that there's a weapon in the vehicle, make sure you let the officer know. Again, that's for your safety and ours. Demeanor with police officers. Never get out of your vehicle unless told so by the officer. Never. Do y'all see that's all caps? Never. Never try to get out of the vehicle unless the officer tells you. A favorable outcome when contacted by a police officer is less about being right and more about being wise and diplomatic. That's key. A lot of people do talk their way to jail because they're so adamant about being belligerent because they're already upset because they're being stopped or because they just know that they're wrong. You determine. Attitude is everything. I think I've said that a couple times today. Attitude is everything. You're not going to win an argument. If we keep it respectful, just like with your parents, keep it respectful. You respect us, we're going to respect you. It's not about who's right or who's wrong. Again, like I said, if you're given a citation, you get to dispute it. It's not because you signed it. It's not an admission of guilt. Our biggest job with traffic is voluntary compliance. It's not about going out who can give the most tickets. We just want you to obey the laws. The laws are there for a purpose. The laws are there to protect all of us, to protect you and the drivers around you. That's why we have speed limits. That's why we have stop signs. Can you imagine if we didn't have any of those and people just riding around, nobody wanting to give the right of way? We would have accidents all day. In situations involving civil disturbances, an officer would prefer to resolve the situation without using force or making arrests. That is a very true statement. The easiest we can make that call go, the better. Be respectful, even if you feel the officer is not being respectful to you. That's true. And again, that goes with teachers and everything. Even if you feel like something's not done, deal with it the right way. Always stay respectful. It's a way to do everything, but respect goes a long way. You will not win a sinful, prideful war of words with an officer, nor should you want to. Anyone can get arrested. It is not difficult. The smart person is the one who remains out of jail. When interacting with a police officer, you should submit to the officer's reasonable orders. Keyword reasonable. If you feel like you're doing something, again, we have protocol. If you feel like you're not being treated in a reasonable manner, it's numbers that you can call, and I'll make sure I give you guys that number as well. Submit to the officer's reasonable orders. Use an inquisitive tone of voice, not an argument of tone. Be respectful. When I say that, an example, officer, can you please explain to me why I have to do this? Why are you asking me to get on the ground? See how I just did that? It's all about respect, your tone. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. If an officer requests to search your vehicle, do you have to allow that search? No. Ask the officer politely why he or she wants to search your vehicle or person. If an officer can search a vehicle or a person when he has suspicion to believe that you have a weapon or a trained dog, we have K9, alerts that you have something in your vehicle, or the officer has probable cause which allows them to search your vehicle. Like on the video, if we walk up to your vehicle and we can smell weed, and let me explain that to you. Spraying cologne and air freshener does not cover up the odor of marijuana. If we can smell it, that gives us probable cause to search that vehicle. But I know none of y'all don't smoke that, so that's a good thing. Establishing rapport with law enforcement. Take time to talk to the police officers in your community. I know I'm one of those. In my area right now, I'm on what we call Beat 3. That's like JLO Max. I'm always over there in the area on West Magnolia. I get out, I walk around, I talk with the people in the community. I'll get out there, throw a football with them. I'll play basketball, I'll dunk on them, cross them up. It don't make no difference. I hear some challenges. I'm kidding. Get to know the officers who frequently work the area where you conduct your street preaching activities. If an officer happens by, respectfully acknowledge them, thank them for their service, and encourage others to do the same. We like encouragement just like y'all like encouragement. Y'all like it when people tell y'all good job, right? Y'all like when people say keep up the good work. We the same way. We just got a badge and a gun. We still people. We still humans. Remember, officers are human, and they are there to make a living and raise a family like everyone else. I want the streets to be safe. I'm real proactive in my neighborhood because I got an 11-year-old and I have a 12-year-old at home, and I want to make sure that where they are, that it's safe, that there's not anything going on, and I know y'all want the same thing. You don't want to have to go outside and worry about getting shot or worry about somebody making a drug deal or somebody out there smoking and everything you're being around that. They are not perfect and make mistakes like everyone else, and that's a true statement. What to do if you're arrested? Be polite. Stay calm. We have some that just freak out, and it'd be so simple, so minor. Just because a lot of times we're detaining you and you're not being arrested, but we have to put you in handcuffs again. That's for our safety. Don't escalate the situation. Don't become combative. Don't add on another charge, because you can't fight the police, especially if we're doing our job. Remember, an arrest is not a conviction. The U.S. Constitution guarantees you the right to remain silent, the right to an attorney, and the right to a fair trial. You would get your day in court to properly defend yourself. Like I said, the same thing with citation. If the officer said they saw you run a stop sign, you'd be like, man, I'm telling you, I did not run that stop sign. Signing a ticket is not an admission of guilt. You get to go before a judge and you get to talk and prove your case. Our word is not law. How to file a complaint on a police officer. You have the number to the police department, you have the number to internal affairs, and the number to the chief of police. All those numbers are very, if y'all want to write them down, take pictures of them. If you feel like you're not being treated respectfully, you feel like an officer did something. I see a lot of y'all taking pictures of those numbers. I want you to get those numbers. I want you to write them down, because we represent this, the city of Valdosta, and we want to make sure that everyone is being treated respectfully. Just like we want to be treated respectfully, we want to make sure that everyone else is being treated respectfully. All right, any questions, cares, concerns, comments? You put your hand up real fast. Go ahead, stand up. Yeah, ask your question. Hold on, I'm gonna come to you so everybody can hear you. Get the mic. So they can hear you.
I'm on the mic.
No, go ahead. Ask your question.
I lost my license one day.
Come on, guys.
And I took a picture. I got pulled over, and I ain't have it.
Talk to the mic. That's why you
gotta go to class.
All right, I had took a picture of my license, right? And a couple days later, I lost it, and I got pulled over. And the officer made a big deal. And I got in trouble.
What do you mean you got in trouble?
I ain't get a ticket like that.
His concern was, all right guys, listen, his concern was, he said he got his license and he took a picture of it, but he lost his license and he got pulled over and didn't have his license on his person. He did not get a citation, but he felt like that the officer, in his words, was doing too much. Is that okay? You have to have your license on your persons when you drive, but your attitude, again, will dictate how that call goes, because he could have gave you a citation, because there is a citation that you can receive for not having your license on your person. How old are you? 17? So you gotta keep up with your stuff. You gotta make sure you have ID on you at all times, because we as officers, we have to know who we're dealing with. We have people that lie to us and say they're somebody else that they're not. So that identification proves, what's your name? Your license does not say KD, but your license tells us that I'm dealing with whatever your name is. That's what that's for. So yes, the officer can say, where's your license? And he could have given you a citation, but that goes to show that we give warnings, and he didn't give you a citation for that. Anybody else got a question? Okay. Talking to the mic, please.
My question is, what do I do if I feel like an officer is provoking me to do something besides calling the number?
Okay, I have a good response for that. No one can provoke you to do anything. You are responsible for your actions. How old are you? This is Julius and Seniors, correct? How old are you? 18. You are responsible for you. You are responsible for how you carry yourself. That's like saying some of these students in here can provoke you to do drugs. That's like saying somebody here can provoke you to go out and jump off a cliff. You are legally an adult now. So part of growing up is making smart decisions. No one can provoke you. Even if I'm coming at you and saying, girl, what your name is? I said what your name is. Stay respectful. My name is such and such and such. Stay respectful throughout the whole call. That's when you go through the number. That's just like you have a situation with a teacher. If you feel like the teacher didn't teach you respectfully, don't try to handle it yourself. You go to your parent and allow your parent to handle it the right way. So there is no way without handling that situation without calling that number. That's why we have those numbers and those people in place. They handle situations like that. A lot of times y'all think that. I had a situation where my son had a problem with the teacher. He was like, I don't know if I'm going to go out there. No. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to talk to the teacher. Because sometimes, and I said, I know none of y'all would never do this. Kids tell partial truths when it comes to certain situations. My son had on embellish and made it seem like the teacher was just picking on him, had to call him out, and when was out of class, all they had done no work. He left that part out. So your parent, but you don't let your parent deal with it. Anyway, when inside you're a minor, the parent deals with it anyway, because we have to call the parent. But you guys, anybody over 17, you can go to the Miles County Jail. There's no more UJJ. I just said don't run for this my case. What you gonna run for? No, stay respectful. Stay respectful. Any other questions? All right, guys, Chief want to say something.
Do me a favor, put your phones down for 1 second, okay? Somebody look at your phone, put them down for a minute, okay? Why are you here? Why did Dr. Richardson and I ask you to come here today? What to do, how to deal with the police. Let me tell you, I'm gonna say 2 things here quickly. First, I've been pulled over by the police too. Back in several years ago, my wife and I got pulled over in Tennessee. I was in civilian clothes. Officer pulled me over 2 o'clock in the morning. It was just a jerk. You all know, I think some of you know my wife, Miss Childress. Okay, hear me out a second. The cop was a jerk. My wife, he ends up letting us go. My wife's like, why didn't you say something to him? I said, and here's what I told her. And you'll need to hear this. Listen carefully to me. And I'll tell you why I say this. Because I'm not going to win that battle on the street at 2 o'clock in the morning. Whether you like it or not, that cop, that police officer, that deputy, that trooper, that agent, whatever you want to call them, are going to win. If they are rude, they mistreat you, you see my officers here, they all have body cameras. You can't delete the video. The other thing you're here for is because Dr. Richardson and I don't want you arrested. You are our future. I can't say this enough. We don't want you in trouble. So you're here today, and you know, I know you are on social media. I'm on social media. Folks, we don't have to be like the rest of the country. I've got too many kids going to jail for no reason. In other words, for stupid stuff they had no business going to jail for. I've got too many kids in this city getting shot over stupid stuff. And I don't want you to have a confrontation with the police. I've got my patrol commander in the back there. You've got Dr. Richardson. If you feel like you've been mistreated, go see Dr. Richardson. She'll call me. I'll look at it. If we're wrong, we'll fix it. But you will need to go talk to your fellow students. We don't have to be like the rest of the country. You are my future. Some of you will be a police officer. Whether you want to admit it or not, you will. You are our future. But if you make these mistakes, it ruins what you're doing now. Okay? Dr. Rich, you want to say something?
The reason we're here is because I have a youth advisory committee. If y'all stand up, a youth advisory committee. And I did not handpick these students. Your class presidents went out and asked the population of students who wanted to serve, and they volunteered to serve on this committee. And these are some of the things that they came up with. There are several things that they came up with. Excellent meeting, our first meeting. Things that they came up with. If you have any questions or you want to see something done, anyway. And that's the problem right there, guys. And I tell you every day what? Respect. You are juniors and seniors. I have a lot of seniors coming back because they made a lot of mistakes. So the chief is helping me with this class because I don't want you to make mistakes. Some of you I had since kindergarten. Some of the students that have been killed, I've had them since kindergarten. And that's just like me having my own child. And raising that child for 13 years to see that that child goes out, commits a crime, or gets killed. How much does that hurt me? Yeah, that was your friend for so many years, but that was my child for 13 years. And I've seen a lot of my children, because I consider you my children, a lot of my children getting killed, put in jail, for something that like you said, that's just ridiculous. That's stupid. I don't want to see that happen to you. I want you to have a future. And some of the things that you do here at school, they're felonies. You can't go to college. You can't go to the military. What are you going to do? So we put together an advisory committee, and this advisory committee lets me know what you want. They go out and they talk to you. In my advisory committee today, taught me how to do Remind. So y'all have to keep me abreast of things that you do on the social media because I'm not a social media person. So I created a Remind because they asked me to create a Remind. And last night I texted them and told them each one bring one. And each time we come to these meetings, they're going to bring another student with them. So each one bring one, a friend. And you all brought a friend in today. So that we're going to spread this word that Valdosta High School, we are wildcats. We are positive. I have some excellent students. Now I'm going to tell you, I have about 10 bad apples that I have to keep my eye on every day. That I check on all the time. But my population of students, like I told Chief, the majority of you are great students, okay? And my bad apples are good students. They just need extra support. They need to see me every day. I hug him every day.
That's sweet.
Yeah. That's because I love you guys. You think I'm hard on you? My children thought I was hard on them. Well, all of them grew up to be wonderful women. And I have great grandkids, 7 of them. Great grandkids. And that's what I want for you. I want you to have a future. Okay? And that's what we're doing here today. Okay? We're going to let our presidents talk, and then we're going to go this way.
We see a lot of stuff happening in the community, and I want Valdosta High School to change. I appreciate you guys for coming out and listening to the PowerPoint. Hope you learned something. Go and tell another friend, and tell that friend, tell another friend, and just make Valdosta a better place.
Like Justin said, I thank you all for coming out and listening, and I hope you all take what you learned and apply it whenever you get pulled over or something does happen, and tell your other friends about it, because this is very, very important.
Get Chief to end it for us.
Folks, just do me this favor. This is all we want. Just spread the word. Spread the word that Valdosta can be different. We're not, my officers, your officers are not here to hurt you. They're not. They're not here to hurt you. We do not want you all to be arrested. There are a lot of things going on behind the scenes at the police department where we have tried to reduce taking people to jail. A lot of folks, we don't want to put you on jail. So please spread the word. It's a respect thing. If my officers are not respectful to you, I've got a lot of folks, you've gotten a number, some of you were taking photos, and I'm glad of that. Just file a complaint. If we're wrong, we'll say we're wrong. We'll discipline the officer. But it's a respect thing. You are not, it's like I told my wife, like when she and I got pulled over. I've been pulled over several times. I know y'all may not believe it, but that's the truth. I make mistakes too as a cop. But you're not going to win that battle at 2 o'clock in the morning. Don't do it. Don't put yourself in a situation where you make it worse. If you get pulled over for a tail light out, it's a stupid tail light out. Big deal. Big deal. Don't make it worse. I appreciate you guys. You guys are our future. You're my family. I think the world of all of you guys, and that's all the only reason we're here, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you.